Hello, I'm Jonathan Hall. This is the Media Blackout. I'm sitting here with the lovely Aaliyah Singletary.
Yes.
Singletary. Miss Singletary, what is your major at A&T?
My major is Industrial and Systems Engineering.
Industrial Systems Engineering. I hear the engineering major runs this campus. Is that true?
I've heard it, but I've been too busy to know.
No, not at all. It's J1C. J1C also. J1C.
Okay.
But okay, first question. What are some positive and negative effects that social media has on the African American community, mainly college students?
I think it has a lot of different positive and negative views or effects, because in some lights I don't feel like we highlight the positive things like graduating and getting degrees and just wanting to do something positive, where so we get idolized for having a little waist and other things in a negative way.
Okay, so how would you say that you use social media?
I use social media different ways. I use it to keep up with family back home, and then you can, things that are going on in the news, of course, hashtags, you can put in the hashtag and see anything. So
okay, all right, I understand. That's what's up. So okay, last question. How do you think the African American community presents itself on social media?
I think we present ourselves positively for the most part, but it seems like when something negative happens, it is highlighted more. But I feel like 80% of the time it is more positive than negative. It's just that when something negative does happen, it's just what you see more.
That's interesting. Well, okay. Well, that wraps it up. Go ahead and tell the camera your Instagram name. Tell them to follow you. Get your followers up.
My Instagram name is Aaliyah Danyell, ALEADANYELL. Please follow me if you like, and I will follow you back.
That's the Media Blackout for you. Have a good one. And we're back. The Media Blackout, back here again with Nathan Blake. I got another question for him. Well, actually a conversation. What's your opinion on the Ferguson situation?
Well, I believe on the Ferguson situation, with like police brutality and whatnot going on, I do believe that's a factor, but I can blame that on the lack of training of more community. Police.
Right.
I think most of them were trained for like shoot to kill and
military. They're more militarized.
Militarized type training. I think that's a big problem with the police force. Right. I don't think it's necessarily racism. Nowadays, but because you see in a lot of different situations where they're putting their lives on the line, and then they have to have that attitude, and there's not enough police that are trained to deal with like more community-oriented situations.
Right.
I also believe that you have to look at the case more into depth before you make any generalizations on it.
So that's how I feel as if like when it comes to like social media and what we're talking about is that I feel as if like the African American community straight up went to social media, went to Twitter and just straight up bashed the cop. I mean, we saw the video, we all saw it, but at the same time, yes, it's fault in what he did, and it's also fault in what Michael Brown might have did.
Right.
We don't know what happened. So there's always two sides to a story. Like we never know.
Right.
So like, I got another question. Like, do you have any police officers in your family?
I don't have any police officers in my family.
None. Sure. Okay. Well, that's all.
Hold on.
I don't know. Just roll with it.
Keep rolling.
I got this.
Yeah, you do this way better than me.
All right.
But I don't know.
We still here live. Matt Summers with my man's here. So you think it's okay that blacks keep getting shot and white cops keep getting away with it?
I don't think that's okay. I think that you have to look at the different statistics and other like issues. I think some of it in some areas, it is racism, because that still exists.
Right.
And I'm not denying that it doesn't. But I think a lot of situations, the police force has to deal with a lot of violent situations where they're putting their lives on the line, and that they're gonna take force that they feel necessary to take, or they might make a mistake and pull the wrong weapon, and they're not necessarily thinking, because the adrenaline.
Right. So, I understand where you come from. Do you think that it's funny that all these victims that are being shot are unarmed and they're kind of already prejudged? Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you just think they're probably doing something wrong prior and we're just kind of going with it?
I think it's not really funny that they're unarmed. But for all these situations with the police, that they're not doing the right thing. Like, they shouldn't be going out and shooting them. I think another problem is that a lot of times the victims are running away. That's what the problem is. Even though they can get into a chase, the police just don't want to do that.
Right. So they shouldn't run. Even if a guy has a gun to him, they shouldn't run unarmed.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone has a gun to you, you should probably listen to what they're saying.
Smart. So I'm gonna just ask one more question about how much do you get on social media a day?
I really don't get on social media at all. I just check the news and when I can.
Right.
Other important events going on.
Okay. So do you think, let's just take a scenario. If me and you both were walking down the street and I walked out the store and I had on, let's say, all black, and you had on your baseball uniform or something, you just stole a whole bunch of stuff out of the store, but we left out at the same time and they didn't know who stole it. And they said, hey, somebody just stole something. Do you think they will automatically come to me or they would come to you?
You know, I think society is definitely, they still have sweeping generalizations. They would probably go to you, to be honest. But it also depend if anyone saw me stealing the items. But just because of like how society is, like they tend to make sweeping generalizations and I don't know what the word is. I don't know.
That's all right, no problem. But we're going to wrap things up. We appreciate you once again. You want to shout out the baseball team or anything?
Oh,
Shout out to the baseball team throwing those 92s. Make sure y'all check him out. And he's not racist. He's a good guy. He's at A&T, all black school. I'd be a little nervous if I went to all black school. No, I'm just messing with you. But we appreciate you. No doubt. All right. Hey, how y'all doing today? We on Media Blackout with Mr. Tyler Harper. How you doing, Mr. Harper? Okay. I like that wristband.
Don't shake my head, bro.
Oh, okay. Definitely love. You know.
What y'all looking at?
Put it on camera.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, how many hours a day are you on social media?
Alright, so I just made a snap, right?
Right.
My joint booming. You know my DM's popping. So about 12 hours out of the day.
12 hours out of the day, 24 hours in a day is half a day. Cool. So, can you live without social media?
That's a good question.
Matt?
Can I call you Matt?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why? Because I feel like in this generation, I found out a lot of my current events from social media. The whole tragedy happened in Baltimore, I actually found out from my Instagram.
True.
Now, I think social media is so accessible. I really don't have the time to sit down and watch the news now.
Right.
So a lot of the things that I see or find out about the world comes from social media.
Okay. So, since you went there with that issue, how do you feel? Now, I want you to get real personal.
Okay.
Ty, if I may call you that.
Yes, you may.
Okay. Ty, how do you think, let's go there with it, African Americans are portraying themselves on social media? In a negative light, I'm going to go even deeper with you, negative light or a positive light? Or both? Elaborate.
I definitely believe it's both.
Both, okay.
I think it would be, very, very incorrect to say that any culture or anybody portrays themselves as just mainly positive. You can't, say 100% for anything. But I, my personal self, I like to kind of, give good messages, maybe a Bible verse or a quote on social media. And I tend to try to promote pictures that show me, in an uplifting light, just for the simple fact that I feel like I could be seen as a role model to some. But I do believe that, you know, also with our generation, with twerk videos and I mean, things that, you know, we all do enjoy, entertainment.
You said twerk videos. So
Yes.
Stop you right there.
Okay.
How many black queens that do you follow on social media for the wrong reason? Now, I'm not. Let me be more specific. I'm not talking about the girls that you like. I'm talking about those video vixens, those rumps shaking videos. I'm talking about sweet pussy Sadie.
Sweet pussy Sadie. I want to be nice to that pussy today. I want to treat that pussy like a steak today. I want to massage that pussy. Then I'm going to season that pussy. Then I'm going to eat that pussy. Sweet pussy Sadie.
Oh, sweet pussy Sadie.
Sweet pussy Sadie.
Nah, we don't check.
Who ain't got no bitches?
Got him! Got him!
A lot.
A lot. Now, do you think that is negative? Well, it is negative, so let's talk about it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. You know, I'm a guy.
Right.
I like seeing it. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we kind of feed into it and provoke more actions such as that. But, I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay. So how do you feel about all these guys blowing up off of Instagram that really don't have a talent, they're just being ignorant? I'm talking about Lil Terrio.
Oh.
Let's talk. This guy's all in the shot.
Oh,
Who's this guy?
Oh, you was talking about people just blew up on social media,
Yeah. Cannon 11, he's filming for us.
blowing up.
But like I was saying, let's talk about these guys.
Okay.
These are the negative. He's a positive. Here's the negatives. We got Lil Terrio, because he's fat, so he got famous.
Yeah.
You got, what's the guy who don't got no bitches?
I don't know his name.
I don't know his name.
Nuts.
Yeah, that dude.
These
We gonna
nuts.
say these
Negative. Let's go even further. What's the other guy? The Birds. What's his name? Chirping.
Yeah. We know him. We were just gonna say that. Then he got Ice JJ Fish. Negative. I just believe. I honestly feel like there's a conspiracy behind it. Plies. I feel like there's something. I feel like there's something behind it, bro.
Right.
Honestly, I feel like because it portrays black people in a negative fashion, I feel like that's some reason why it's being able to be promoted as well. Because I don't just believe everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really feel like, you know, it's a lot easier to fall into their gimmicks than to, you know, congratulate or give attention to somebody that's doing something positive.
Right.
And especially because they're African Americans. It just gives, you know, I want to say, what did he say, the white race, another reason to say, oh, you know what I'm saying, they're uneducated, they're, you know, foolish or thugs, something of that nature. And yeah, that's the reason behind that, bro.
Cool.
That instant fame.
Well, we're gonna wrap things up. One time, I appreciate you.
Right.
What is it, Tyler Harper?
You can call me Deuce Deuce, bro.
Okay, Deuce. Why would we call you that?
Because I'm the first in Beta Epsilon, period, history. You know what I'm saying?
The first 22 in Beta Epsilon period history. That's amazing. Okay. Well, we'll be right back with Media Blackout.
You feel me?
Once again, Tyler Harper.
Monster.
You know what? I appreciate you. Just gonna leave right in the middle of the set, huh?
Yeah, just in the middle of the set.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, boss.
You already.
06 to the good bros.
The bros.
So, we're back. You see we had some special guests on the show today. Some real good answers. What you think?
We had a white guy.
White guy, yeah, that was good. We needed that.
A white guy.
So we had the male and the female perspective, and we also had other races come in today. So it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, good show. Good show.
So we're gonna go to a couple clips that we have that show some of those stereotypes and stuff. But once again, I'm your first host, Matt Summers,
I'm your other host, John Hall.
and we'll see you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to 10:30. You know that.
What you doing, my man?
What's it look like, nigga? Getting strong.
What you getting strong for?
Knock a town bitch ass out.
No, why you wanna knock him out?
Cause you talk too motherfucking shit. But come this Friday at the UFC. Hey, now I see your ass boxing. But come July 47th, We gonna have to tear this motherfucker up. I'm whipping your ass. You gonna need snacks to catch your rebound,
Let's
motherfucker.
get ready to rumble!
You know, Travis James and T.
That's my kind of